Welcome into another edition of the Stripe Show podcast. Just want to say real quick, thank you for the month of October. And maybe October was really big because we had Jason Kokrak on, which we're going to have him on again today. October was our biggest month, and we appreciate it. And we're excited about the future here at Stripe Show. And remember, you can help us out even more. Subscribe, leave a comment, leave a ranking. It goes a long ways to, kind of moving us up in the algorithm. And tell your friends about us because we are just getting started. We're brought to you by OnCore. They design high-performance golf balls for players of all skill levels and swing speeds. So get fitted for your perfect golf ball at OnCore Golf. So yes, October was really a big month for us, but may have been because October 19th we had this guy on. And so he just had a big Sunday at the Houston Open. Jason Kokrak, thanks for joining us again, man.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. Always fun to be on the show.
What a week, man.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this one coming, but nonetheless, it was a good outcome.
Yeah. So, maybe you remember, where were you after round one?
After round one, I was 2 under par. Kind of plotting along. I knew that the golf course was playing pretty tough. Last year I think 12 under 1. So it's just I just knew that you didn't have to really kill the golf course to kind of stay in the hunt. So not too bad after round one. I had a little bit of a slump there, and to end my second round with the delay on Saturday. But needless to say, I was a great outcome. But on Tuesday, I hit it so bad in the practice round that I contemplated withdrawing from the tournament, which is kind of crazy. So I called my swing coach, Drew Steckel, got my earbud in, kind of hit some balls on the range with him in my ear, D-Rob taking a couple videos or whatever. And, I told him for the last couple of weeks that I knew I wasn't far off. Like I knew it was just something small or just a feel that I needed to get back to. And I think we've made that adjustment and got back to hitting a little bit more of a draw.
Wow. So Tuesday you almost withdraw, and then Sunday you're the guy standing there at the end holding the trophy. What was he able to, what changed?
Nothing really. It was just I was getting a little bit too much leg drive. I tend to kind of straighten my right leg out, and then when I rebend it, it kind of changes my swing plane a little bit, and I kind of get a little wipey with it. So I just tried to sit back in that right knee and shallow it out a little bit more, and start hitting a little bit more of a draw base shot instead of trying to hit everything a little straighter.
Are you trying to straighten your right leg on the backswing, or do you want to keep a little flex in that? Because I see some guys like Brooks, he appears to keep all the flex, or like he's trying to keep all the flex, and then you see some guys really go up and straighten.
I'm not trying to like keep it like Brooks, like real stagnant, but you definitely have to keep it bent a little bit more in my backswing. I'm a tall guy. I'm going to have a little bit of motion there, but I just tried to kind of sit back into that right knee, which kind of keeps me a little bit more level. When you straighten that out, you actually have to rebend it on the way down, and that's just a lot, way too much movement in the golf swing to compete out on the PGA Tour.
Does your swing tend to get a little long if your right leg does straighten and your hip starts working too high?
Well, your right hip gets high, and then when you rebend it, it sinks back down, which it'll be hard to get back down to the ball and bottom it out in the same spot. Like if you're straightening that leg, and your right hip will come up, and then it goes down, it changes where you're going to bottom out and where the angle of attack is.
Well, that's encouraging, though. I mean, because as an amateur, we go out there, and I feel like some days I've got it. Like I figured this game out. I got it. I'm going to play well. And then you know how it is. You go out and you play terrible, and you think you're never going to hit it good again. And it is a little encouraging that on Tuesday you were thinking, hey, maybe I shouldn't even play this week. And then Sunday you're standing there holding the trophy.
Yeah, it was just kind of came full circle. As I said, I told Drew, I told D-Rob, I'm like, I know we're not far off, but it was just kind of mentally, it was mentally draining, and emotionally, it was just not encouraging to know that I'm like really close to playing good golf, but just not driving it as well and not hitting as many fairways. And that was a week that you needed to hit a lot of fairways because it was a long golf course. And and it was very, very, very tough around chipping around those greens with all the runoffs and everything else.
What was it playing, like 73, 74?
Yeah, about 74, I think.
Wow.
And it was wet. We had a bunch of rain Thursday, so it was kind of one of those things that it played about as long as possible. The greens weren't quite as firm, I guess, as last year. I didn't play last year, but a lot of the guys said the greens were absolutely rock hard. So, but being a high ball hitter around that place, I was able to attack some pins and hold some greens that some of the other guys couldn't. But nonetheless, it was Houston Open was great. Great time. Always nice to come out with a victory.
That finished 13, 14, 15, and 16. You made some nice putts, but on 16, not really your normal way of playing a par 5. You hit a great drive.
Yeah.
And then instead of going for it, you decide to lay up. Yes, I know the wedge shot to a couple feet and you tapped in for birdie. Yeah. Was that a big decision for you? Did you want to go for it?
I was 100% going to go for it. It was a perfect number, perfect 7-wood, middle of the green. Wouldn't have had a problem anywhere, but there was a little bit of mud on the back of my ball.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough that I think it would. I don't think it would have affected the shot, but mentally, it was in the back of my mind. So, right. I wanted to be 100% on the shot that I was trying to hit. So I didn't want anything like that. I mean, I knew I was wedging it good, hit my irons good. I laid it up on 13 as well, which I probably could have gotten to the front of the green. But if you miss it left or right, it's a very difficult chip.
Right.
So I laid it back, gave myself a full shot in, and rolled in a nice putt, which gave me a lot of confidence there. But I laid it up actually with like a pitching wedge, and then I had 121 hole for my third. So that was a good number, a little bit of help, and just a sand wedge.
A decision like that, is that obviously you're the CEO, it comes down to you, but how much does the caddy play into that decision-making process?
Well, I mean, I think, we both know where each other stand when we're coming down the stretch. So, he was an absolute stud all day. Never really, no indecision whatsoever. Just he knew exactly what he kind of anticipates what I'm feeling or where I'm gonna go with a shot. So he knows that my game. I would have loved to go for that par 5 and 2, but I think we work so well together. We know each other. We've been together coming up on 5 years now. So wow. It's a good process, and I think we're both good for each other.
Jason, we're talking 3 wins in 13 months. Now, it did take you 233 starts to get your first win on the PGA Tour, which is, listen, that's still, listen, there's plenty of guys that play and don't win. So you got your first win, and then now 2 more in the last 26 starts. I mean, that really, did something just click? Has it become, I hate to use the term easy, has it become a little easier than it was when you started?
Well, I said it yesterday. I was always a slow learner. So but once I figured out, the floodgates open. So I think it's just a little bit of a confidence thing and being more comfortable in that situation. Not getting my first win for all those years was, kind of weighing on me. But at the end of the day, I think, when I smell blood in the water, that's, kind of, I know my game. I'm a little bit more confident. I'm rolling the putter as good as I ever have. Drove it really well. So when the putter's hot and you're hitting fairways, the game gets pretty easy. But then again, as soon as you think you have this game licked, you're going to turn right back around, and it's not going to work. So
trust me, I know exactly how that works. The day you think you got it and you drive home from the golf course, it's over.
Yeah. You think, as soon as, like, as I said, Tuesday, I was withdrawing from the tournament. Something clicked, a little bit of confidence, rolling a few putts, and you're playing a tough golf course that, if you miss a green, you're probably going to make a bogey. So, just all those things. I just try to, keep everything in front of me and just let it happen. Just control what I can control.
How much do you think your distance played in a factor helping you? Obviously, it being a big ballpark, being 7,400 yards, that was obviously something that played in your favor versus guys who were hitting it a little shorter.
Yeah, for sure. Hitting fairways was a key out there, but I think more so that I was able to hit, the ball flight that I have is pretty high, in consideration to, some of the other guys out there on tour. But so, I'm able to stop a 6-iron within 10 or 15 feet, which is, normally a guy's like 9-iron or 8-iron or something like that. So I hit it high, and it was easy for me to, attack some of the pin placements that, over a bunker, or there's a drop off after number 12 that, it was an incredibly tough little chip shot there. So, length helps. I think Phil said it the best. It says you can be a great golfer, but to be an elite golfer, speed helps.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. At what point in the round on Sunday, because you weren't leading going into Sunday, I think Scheffler had the
Mm-mm.
54 hole lead. So at what
Yeah.
point in your round did you think, hey, wait a second, I got a chance at this thing? Was it after was it after 13, 14?
Well, I think it was, I just knew that the back nine was a little bit more difficult than the front. I played the front nine really well all week. So, the back nine plays a little tougher. There's a long par four into the wind, the short par three was a kind of a really tough little par three with that front right
Yeah, it
pin
was real
position.
front right. And I noticed when you hit it, it looked like it was going to be, but you never looked questionable, but it was dead pin high, just a little right of the
Yeah.
pin.
I don't think I hit it quite as hard as I wanted to, but I had a similar number, not the same win, similar number into 13.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a little gap wedge, and I felt comfortable with the number, felt comfortable with the shot, and I just hit the same club a couple holes before. So, I said, I was like, I think that was the whole. After rolling in the birdie on 14, going into 15, I knew that was going to be the changing direction. If I could get it down in 3 there, possibly make birdie on the par 5, or 17 was a tough pin position, but nothing crazy. I mean, it was a
Right.
7-iron and a 9 green. So, and then 18 played exponentially easier. It played into the wind all week, and I hit 5-6-iron into that green. Um, you know, Thursday through Saturday, and then Sunday was downwind, so I driver wedge.
As far as your stock yardages go, and I played golf actually yesterday in a charity event with Jim Furyk, and he was talking about how much the game has changed from back in the day when he started playing when he was a rookie on tour to where it is now, and how there are different shots. Like Jim's like, you would be shocked at how many different yardages a 5-iron is. He's like, you've got,
Mm-hmm.
for example, as an amateur, I've got a number in my head, 5-iron, that's what I'm going to hit. But I'm sure a
Yeah.
5-iron could be probably a 20 or 30 yard range in your mind. If you knock it down, hit it high, hit it low, cut, draw, whatever, right?
There's just so many different shots. I think the game's changed because guys, but like when I was a kid, we were playing a balata golf ball or a professional, and the golf ball spun a lot more,
Right.
and you're able to curve it a lot more. So you kind of had a bunch of different numbers, and the golf ball, the clubs and everything doesn't really, it doesn't curve as much. It's not designed to. So,
Has that made the game
yeah, I
easier?
think
Has that
I
made the
wouldn't
game easier?
not. But for me, I like to curve. I like to see the ball curve from right to left, but I also like to hit. I try to flight it a little bit. I used to be able to hit it really low, but I don't hit it nearly as low anymore.
Can you hit it low if you need to into the wind?
Um, Sometimes I struggle with that, but normally I just grip down, take one extra club, swing smooth. So my tendency is to try to force it under the wind, and that just creates more spin, and it climbs way up into the sky. So I try to swing a little bit smoother, but as you said, yeah, I have, probably I have like 3 or 4 numbers with each wedge. I have another gear, as D Rob calls it, that I can pretty much hit. I can probably get another 5 to 12 out of each club if need be.
Wow. So that's when you really want to step on it. Now, are you losing some accuracy when you do that?
Yeah, I can for sure, but I tend to, kind of put it, I just kind of reach back a little bit more, and, I try to shallow it out and lean the club. So, I'm taking a couple degrees of loft off of it. So, but, in the same spectrum, if I'm trying to, saw it off, or, grip down, or put it way up in my stance, I tend to actually hit it a little bit shorter when I try to hit it super high.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of the, you just have to know what your game entails. I mean, there's some guys that just have a stock yardage for every club, and
Right.
they can't really do like another couple yards out of it. But there's only a few guys that really can step on it and hit it a lot further.
Now, Jason, you already hit it far. Obviously, that's not an issue. Do you ever work on trying to hit it further?
So sorry, you broke up there. What's that?
Do you ever work on trying to hit it further?
Oh, I with Bryson and all these guys, really trying to hit it further. Yeah, I flirted with, using a longer driver, but I used to hit it, 15 to 20 yards further than I do now, and
Oh, wow.
the accuracy is just not there. I already hit it plenty long enough.
Right.
Uh, when I get a little bit of confidence and, swinging at it well, I think that's where the speed comes from, is more confidence, in, freeing up your golf swing. You can swing a little bit faster, but, yeah, everybody would like to hit it a little bit further, but it's not really something that I was concentrating on.
Now, the driver change, are they going to back us up to 46? I know some people are playing 47-inch drivers, some are not. Is the rule change going to affect you at all?
Not in the least. My driver's 44 and 5/8 finished, so it's a little shorter than normal, but 45 inches to the end of the grip. So I don't plan on doing anything else. Yeah, I have a couple drivers in the basement that are a little bit longer that sometimes I mess around with, and yeah, I hit them a little bit further. But when you add just an inch or just something small like that, it does change your golf swing a little bit, and I think it's harder to swing that golf club with being that long. So if you can do it, hit it further and still keep your accuracy, I'm all for that. But I think for me, finding the right driver shaft combination and hitting it straight. I mean, if I want to hit it further, I'm a big guy, 6'4". I can create a lot of speed if I need to. But since I got out on tour, I've kind of slowly gotten a little bit shorter. But I'm trying to be more accurate than hit it far. A big golf course that doesn't have a whole lot of rough. Yeah, I can lean on it a little bit more, but I'm not actively trying to, gain 20, 30 yards, over a couple month stretch or whatever.
When you stand up on a tee box, you're ready to tee off. Are you swinging 80, 85, 90%? You're not going at it all out.
No, I mean, I'm probably 70%, 75.
Wow, so smooth.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
That's good. I mean, I think my fastest clubhead speed was like 134 when I when I was in college, coming out of college. I worked out a lot, used to just absolutely unleash on the golf ball, but
Right.
I didn't. My accuracy was so bad. So I knew if I wanted to be, a top 100 player in the world, I needed to hit it straighter.
Would you say that that's something that's changed maybe from the first 233 to now the last 26 starts? Would you say that that's something that's changed where you have dialed it back and maybe that's why you're winning? It's such a great clip now.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. But I think the combination of having D-Rob on the bag, reading putts, giving me that confidence and freeing me up that I know that we have a great read. And I was 150th, 180th on tour in putting, and now I'm top 10. So I think
Ooh.
that's the great equalizer there.
It really is. Everybody seems to, what is it? Drive for show and putt for dough, but you can do both. When you can do both, you can win.
Yep.
So much talk about length and changing the golf ball and changing golf clubs and having different rules for amateurs versus pros. Where do you stand on all this?
I mean, if you're on a perspective of trying to grow the game, I don't really think it's necessary for people to limit the golf ball. I think technology is only going to get better. So, I mean, we're going to hit it further and further. If you look at, the old school guys that, the athletes that are being put out on the PGA Tour now, the guys are so much bigger, stronger, right. And, we're going to be able to hit it further. I mean, if you look at the NFL or you look at the NBA, it doesn't matter across all sports. Guys are getting bigger, faster, and stronger all the time. So I think from an amateur standpoint, everybody wants to hit it far. Everybody wants to hit it straight. But I think if you're trying to grow the game of golf and build it up, hit it as far as you can. Don't limit anything. I mean, they had the trampoline effect drivers there for a while that some of the amateurs were using, but I think they messed around with the V grooves or the square grooves there for a while for the PGA Tour players, and then that's kind of when the bomb and gouge type golf started. And then when they went back to the that groove rule, and you had to hit more fairways, and I think with course setup is one thing. I mean, if you want to limit the players that are hitting it far, tighten up the fairways, grow the rough up, make the greens firm. I think that's the way to make golf more difficult, not to make us hit it shorter.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% because I don't know any amateur that says I just hit the ball too far. I wish I hit it a little shorter. There's nobody I play with that has that problem. I'm pretty sure nobody you play with has that problem either.
No. I play with my buddies back here in Hudson at home, and I mean they all want to hit it farther. So, and I think that's what makes the game fun. Like when you can, talk a little trash and outdrive your friends, or do some stuff with the golf ball that most people can't. That it brings a whole new dynamic to the game of golf, and I'm all for hitting it far and having some fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember last year at the at Bay Hill, the whole thing was Bryson going to drive that green, that par 5, and I know he hit it in the bunker, but he still carried it. I mean, it made people watch. It was a must see moment. And then next week at the Players here in Ponte Vedra, where I am, they had to make a rule where he couldn't hit it left of 18 over on the side. I mean, so people want to see somebody hit the ball a long ways. That's what they want to see.
Yeah, it's fun to watch guys. Even when I'm out on the range, I'll just watch Bryson hit a couple balls. It's crazy what he's doing with the golf ball. It's impressive that he's able to hit it that far
and that straight.
I don't understand at Bay Hill last year. Everybody freaking out. He didn't actually drive the green.
No.
He hit it to the right of the green. He carried the water. That was the only thing he did. Like people have done that, before. Like Rory takes not that line, but a line that's
similar,
30 yards, 40 yards right of that, and that's where and you can have a short iron into a par 5, which but if you have a short iron into a par 5 or a wedge into a par 5 out of the rough, it's it's kind of one of those things that no matter what you do. I mean, he drove it up there to a front right pin, which being in the fairway would have been ideal, but it is what it is. It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch, and I hope they don't take that away, because I believe that it puts more eyes on the sport. More eyes on the sport is always a good thing. And speaking of other rule changes and things that are going on in the game of golf, the Saudi-backed Asian Tour with Greg Norman, is that something you would be interested in? Would it be a money play? Like where do you stand on this whole deal?
I think competition is good for anybody. So I don't think the PGA Tour is too overly happy about it, but all that this is going to do is, create more of a buzz, more money flowing into the PGA Tour, which entails more money for us at the end of the day. So, yeah, I mean, if it makes sense money wise, I think the league could be good for both parties. If you look at like sports, you look at NFL, you look at all these other major sports, these guys are making hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think the PGA Tour is just not dishing out the money where it needs to go. I mean, we do donate more to charity than all other major sports combined, which is great. But
for sure,
if you look at the guaranteed money, if I go out there and miss 20 straight cuts, I don't get any guaranteed money. I get zero.
Right.
And then I have to pay my caddy. I pay all my own flights. I don't have an owner that's paying for, my training, my food, my air travel, my hotel, this, that, and the other thing. So, I'm an independent contractor, and, I'm still being told what to do. And, if the PGA Tour wants to start paying us as such, then they can start telling us what to do. And I think that's where the Saudis and Greg Norman are, going in that direction of getting more guaranteed money. And if it makes sense, we'll see. It would be more of a money grab, but in return, we're only going to play, 15, 14, 15, 16, however many events. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just going to grow the game and, make the PGA Tour and make golf a bigger global sport.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. I mean, it's hard to trust the Saudi-backed money and know that everything's going to continue. And I know that the tour has said that maybe if you play that tour, you won't be able to come back and play the PGA Tour. So it is going to be interesting to see where it goes from where we are right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a lot of outlandish things being said um, that I just don't agree with. I mean, we're all independent contractors, and for the tour basically to say that you can't come back if you go play this tour, that they're just trying to create a monopoly, and I just don't think that's the way to grow the game, regardless of the competition standing on the other side.
But don't they also have to protect their entity?
Well, without a doubt. I mean, you want to protect, the game, their sport, and their drive. They don't want to lose their big name players, but
Right.
cash is king, and to be financially stable and almost be able to retire on some guaranteed money that the PGA Tour really isn't offering right now. I mean, I have to go out there and earn it myself on the golf course, and you know, I'd like to sit back, watch my kids grow up, as I'm doing right now. But the with more and more events going on the PGA Tour and less time off, it wears on a player after a while. So you see so many more play. I don't think you'll see the guys that play on the PGA Tour for 20-25 years anymore. I think you'll see shorter stints of players. I've talked to a couple that said, I'd like to be done by 42, 40, 45 years old, and have some time to enjoy life, enjoy your kids, and just be a regular person instead of just grinding it out for 30
Right.
plus weeks a year.
Yeah, I've talked to some tour players and they say they love playing golf.
Yeah.
They love the aspect and everything that's going on. However, the travel of, getting on a plane and going and hotel and this and that, that's what's taxing, not exactly just the playing golf part. The playing golf part's the fun part.
Yeah, the golf. I love playing golf. It's not like I'm going to hang up golf and quit altogether. I'm still going to play, enjoy myself. But I think we're forced to play. Like I hope we go back to the old way of playing from January to the Tour Championship, and then having a few events in the fall if you'd like to play. But
Right.
now there's so many events that if you don't play, you're so far behind the eight ball
Right.
with from a FedEx Cup standpoint, the points list, that it's hard not to play. And I think the tour wants more guys to have opportunities to play, but with all the more events, with the bigger name guys playing,
Mhm.
it takes away from the rookies and some of the other guys that don't get quite as many starts as they did before.
Yeah, the fall series used to be their time to kind of make their bread
Yeah.
while the big boys like yourself and other guys were, taking time off. But Jason, maybe people don't understand really what does a week entail for you. So if you're home and you're not playing an event, it ends on a Sunday. The next day's Monday. Do you leave on that Monday for the next event?
I either leave I mean, well, yesterday, I mean, I was planning on playing RSM. So, I mean, before Brooks called me, I would have probably hopped on a plane um, Sunday night, traveled till 9-10 o'clock at night, got into my hotel room, and it starts all over again. You just kind of get up, and it's a new golf course, new state, new place, and it's just it's the same thing week in and week out. But normally I try take Monday as like the travel day, or
But you're still
my
not home with your family on that Monday.
yeah. But I mean, I mean, if you miss a cut, you can get away with flying home and then coming back out. But if I tried to fly home Sunday night, be home all day Monday, and then fly back out on Tuesday to get a practice round, ProAm and whatnot. But
Right.
I've got three weeks in a row. I'm gone 3 straight weeks, Monday to Sunday. So it's not like I have too much downtime playing, 72 holes from Thursday to Sunday. But I got the Pro-Am Wednesday. That's mandatory from the tour, and then Tuesday's normally practice day, and then Sunday or Monday is kind of like you can practice. There's normally a Pro-Am on Mondays too, but that's sort of my day to either travel or work on the things that I need to work on.
Right. So it's a lot more than just playing golf on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what we see. And it's very much like the NFL is different too. We just see a game on Sunday. There's a lot more that goes into it. But
Oh yeah.
there's travel and there's practice rounds, and like you said, the Pro-Am is mandatory. You have to play. Pro-Am's always 18 holes, correct?
They're doing 9 and 9 now, which I think is great, because I thought it was not ridiculous, but I mean, to ask the players to play on Wednesday and be out there for 5.5, 6 hours, 7 hours with a little bit of a warm up the day before you're gonna play for your living is that's a lot to ask for. So I think it's better for both parties. It's better for us. We 9 holes, and I think it's better for the amateurs too, because they get to meet and hang out with and talk to 2 different PGA Tour pros as opposed to just one. If the 18-hole pro-ams are not too bad if you get a good group, but
right.
Sometimes that's not the case.
No, I know. Trust me. I've seen some guys that go to pro-ams and they're there for one thing, to see how much alcohol they can drink, and they just want to cut it up with the pro. I completely know what you're saying, but the pro-am for you is not as much. You're not really able to practice as much and really get ready for your round. You're doing more entertaining than you are really practicing and preparing for the round, correct?
Yeah, I agree. My thing lately has been Tuesday, I play 9 holes. I figure out which 9 I'm going to play in the pro-am, and I play the opposite 9 on Tuesday. And then, I hit a bunch of putts during that the practice round or whatever. But during the pro-am, I don't have that time to chip around all the greens or hit putts to different sections. I'll hit a few, but
right.
the time, I'm out there entertaining or, talking to the
giving
guys.
tips to a guy with an awful golf swing.
Yeah, giving the pro tips of how not to slice it or duff it or hook it or whatever. So, nonetheless, man, you have to enjoy it, and
no, those programs are fun. It is entertaining for the guys. So before we let you go, we do a quick, what we call an E9. We'll get a quick 9 in. I'm going to ask you 9 quick questions, and you just tell me the first answer that comes to your mind. All right?
Shoot.
Here we go. Popeye's chicken sandwich or a McDonald's McRib kind of guy?
Popeyes.
Popeyes. I like the fried chicken sandwich. All right. Would you rather drive it long or just dead straight?
Long.
Long, and you already do, so you got that. Your musical taste on the golf course: rock, hip hop, country, or something else?
I listen to a lot of hip hop, a lot of rock. Not too much country.
Not too much. Favorite player to be paired with on the PGA Tour?
That's a tough one. Practice round or tournament round?
Give me both.
I like playing with my buddies out on tour. Like, I like playing practice rounds with Brooks or Perez. Guys that I can cut it up with and have a good time. You're out there for 5.5, almost 6 hours. And if you get a guy that doesn't want to talk to you or is boring, then it makes for an even longer day. So kind of talking to the guys, cutting it up a little bit.
All right, the next question is, who's your least favorite? Who do you see on that tee sheet and you're like, oh man, I like him, but I don't want to play golf with him all for 5 hours?
P. Reed.
P. Reed, yeah. You know what? You're not the first one to give that answer. You're not the first one. Starbucks or hotel coffee in the morning?
Starbucks.
Starbucks. All right. So you're going to make a trip. All right. Your favorite social media of choice: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram?
Well, I don't have TikTok and
I
don't have anymore, so I'd have to go Instagram.
Instagram. All right. You got it. Would you rather have a phone call or just have somebody shoot you a text?
I'm old school. Phone call.
Phone call. All right. And then last but not least, we're not even to Thanksgiving yet. Is it too early to put up Christmas stuff?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Let's let the turkey get cold first.
Yeah. At least put some to-go boxes out before you break out the Christmas stuff. I was at my hotel last week and they were putting up the Christmas tree midweek. I'm like, guys, we haven't had Thanksgiving yet.
The pilgrims not even come over yet. Come on, we got to relax a little bit before Santa comes down the chimney. Where can we see you playing next? I know you're not playing the RSM this week in Sea Island, and then it's kind of, I guess this is golf's version of the off season. So where will we see you again?
Shark Shootout.
Okay,
playing with Naples Shark Shootout and playing with Kevin Na.
Oh, cool. That's nice. All right, so you'll play that, and then that'll be it before we see you in Hawaii.
The whole 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks.
Somebody's wishing we had a longer off season. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm begging for the longer off season.
So we'll see you at the. I'm guessing we'll see you at the Champions. We'll see you at the Sony. While you're out there, you might as well play both, right?
Yeah, it's a long trip, so I'm gonna play both out there. But that's my plan. I really haven't gotten past. I'm not one of those guys that I don't plan out my entire year. if I'm playing good, then I might keep playing. But if I need a break, I shut it down.
Right. Good deal. Well, we'll definitely see you here in March in Ponte Vedra at the Players, without a doubt. I know that's always on that's got to be right up there with the four majors and then the Players. That's always kind of in the mix where everybody wants to play that event.
For sure. It's it's our event. It's kind of like the fifth major. It's a great golf course. Love coming down.
Just got a lot bigger.
Yeah, I know. It's it's obviously the biggest purse, but it's a lot of fun to play that golf course and have our kind of home event and show off a little bit.
It is good. Real Jason, congratulations on your third win at the Houston Open. Good luck at the Shark Shootout. Enjoy your little bit of time off, and we will see you in the rest of the 2022 wraparound season.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks, Jason, man. Have a good one, man.